Islam, and greetings. Princeanaelbey, Divine Prince, and Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Divine Theocracy of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as well as Prince of Egypt and Morocco. Good evening, afternoon, morning. Before I begin this session, of course, here is the picture that you will receive. It'll be an 8x10 glossy print of the greatest crime never investigated, and it will be suitable for framing when you order it. The PayPal information will be in the description box. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. More bona fides. I ran across the newspaper article which I had the Treasury put into the Washington Post. That number, it is not supposed to be $700 billion. It was supposed to read $1,200 billion. That's $1.2 trillion. I have financed this government. And the United States, as always, it is doing everything that it can to renege on this legal business arrangement. And so the struggle goes on. The proceeds for the greatest crime never investigated, the proceeds will go to the fund for the building of the actual Temple Alhambra. Not going to let it stop me, the fact that the United States is running true to form in its crooked business dealings. I understand that the United States, it has a practice. Whenever the Moors loan it money, it would rather enslave the Moors than to pay its debt to us. It has always been that way. Okay, today, this session will be on something that I stated to you in a previous recording about the Amalgamated Moors and their place here in Greater Mauritania. And I came across it was a news article. And the news article was about this amalgamated Moorish tribe of tribal Moors, aka Indians. An amalgamated Moorish tribe, and they are called the Little Shell tribe. They are amalgamated Moors, and as I've explained to you, for a people who have been on this land for nearly 1,000 years, the only thing that could possibly come when you view the world in science is amalgamation by the land of such a people. And this is happening now. As I have also shared with you, this is the age of Aquarius, when all that was hidden shall now be revealed. The truth of things will continue to be shown to you, as this is the age when there shall be nothing but truth. It will destroy some, it will bring others pain and anger, but it is the way it shall be. Now, this tribe of Little Shell, Amalgamated Moors, what a lot of people are going to liken it to is what happened during the institution of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Now, what happened during that time, during the Bureau of Indian Affairs, what was going on was there were Europeans, because at that time, you all were still Europeans. You hadn't become amalgamated yet by the land. So, what the Europeans did, once they learned the benefits that the tribal Moors were accessing through a magnanimous, conquering government, what they started doing was paying $5. And for $5, they too could become an Indian. Well, the term that they used for the Europeans back then was $5 Indians, because for $5 you too could become an Indian and therefore be privy to the benefits that the Indians were being given. And for some, it may appear that way today, which is why I have cautioned you in a previous video. Be very careful, because sometimes what you're looking at ain't what you're seeing. And this would be one of those times. While there are those who still harbor hate in their hearts, they will see this as nothing more than round 2 of the $5 Indian. This is not so. This is not so at all. For nearly 1,000 years, their feet have trod on the earth in the land of Greater Mauritania. And according to true earth sciences, once the earth becomes associated with a people, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter where you're from. And there's a saying about that, which definitely applies here, and the Amalgamated Moors of the Little Shell tribe. And it goes like this. It ain't about where you're from. It's where you're at. And they're here. And they have become amalgamated by the land. No fault of their own. There was nothing they could do about it. Just as there was nothing we could do about it when we were in Spain. We became amalgamated. It happens. Earth is full of energy centers. Full of them. And if you were taught your ancestral science, you would know where most of these energy centers are. You would know where they were. However, energy centers aside, the Little Shell tribe, they have every right to exist. And just as I taught you, you all a few videos ago about the earth amalgamating people, apparently, I am not the only one who knows this. I am not the only one who knows this. The crying shame is none of you were ever taught this. And it was strictly to keep you in ignorance. And so the age has come where you all need instruction, because it's getting close to that time. You're going to see a lot of things anyway. You're going to see a lot of things. But what I do not want you all to rush headlong into in a half-cocked measure is seeing this article. You can punch it up anywhere. I'm sure it's in cyberspace. The Little Shell tribe. And it'll read something like a tribe of white people who are Indian. It'll be all jacked up article-wise. But just so that you know, this is a natural phenomenon. It happens on Earth. That is why the interdimensional people, they don't stay here long. They can't, because they know the science. That's why they don't stay here. They come visit, they leave and go home. They don't stick around here for years and years, and no, they do not, because they know. They fly in, they zip out. But I do not want for your ignorance to travel any further than this, because when you run across that article, and I sincerely hope that you will, I will need for you to understand exactly what it is you are looking at, because you are quick to jump to the wrong conclusion. So far, several people already have. It is not a resurrection. It is not a resurrection of the $5 Indian ploy. Not at all. It is legitimate. And it is something that is found in nature. It's called assimilation and amalgamation. Both of these things are found in nature. So it is a natural phenomenon. And while the uninspired, the uninitiated, and the uninformed will view it myopically, of course, and view it as something low, such as, now white folks just want to be Indians. No. No, that's not it at all. They have become amalgamated by the land. Therefore, the people that they lived around, the earth has seen to it that what it put into those people of the land, it also put in the newcomers to the land. That is earth science. That's true earth science. But if you do not understand the properties of earth, and I ain't talking about just her goddamn minerals, you thief and pirate, and anyway, earth has other properties, and it has other powers. One of its powers is to transform people from one race, for all intents and purposes, to the race of the people where they were supplanted, colonized, etc., however you want to put it. However those people got to that land, where the native people were, this is why they have turned into those native people. It is because of the land. It's because of the land. I asked one of my professor colleagues when I was teaching in the university why colleges don't teach true earth science. He had no answer for me. And he is teaching earth science to students who have paid a lot of money to be in his class. I'm just glad that I taught a subject where I knew about what I was teaching. And I found that to be quite sad, because when you do not teach about the very place where you live, you will die in ignorance of it, never knowing that for whatever reason, I'm not even going to go into that. At any rate, you need to understand this is not a resurrection of the $5 Indian ploy. It just is not. And so before you Black and African American United States made entities. Before you get all full of your hatred that you harbor and carry around with you, understand something. Your science is bigger and it is more exact than the hatred that you hold for another person, because you don't realize that that person is becoming you. I told you before, those you call white people, they are not white people yet. They're not white people yet. But they're well on their way, as you can see when you read that article. And for you Asiatic Moors, can you not see that you have no more time? Can you not see you have no more time? You can no longer afford to comport and conduct yourself in such an asinine manner that no one on earth wants to have anything to do with you. You can control that. Only you can demonstrate to the world the best of what you can be. Only you can do that. And when you make no effort because you are comfortable in your stagnation as a wretched, degenerate people who proclaim that you are black, I will tell you again, you're killing yourselves. You're killing yourselves. Now, I'm going to put it to you like this. See if you can keep up. I'm going to put it in the form of a board game. No, check that. I'm going to put it in the form of a track meet. All right? You are on the inside track. You on the inside track. And the Amalgamated Moors, well, they're on the high outside track. Now, the way that a track is set up, that inside track is shorter distance. Outside track, longer distance. You're on the inside track. You were here first. And through the centuries and the years, etc., as you run around that track, you're not even looking behind you, because coming up high on the outside turn, it's the Amalgamated Moor. And because you are so uninterested in this race, you take your time getting on around there to the clubhouse turn. You're not concerned about the Amalgamated Moor coming up high on the outside. You won't notice him until he's neck and neck with you. By then, it will be too late for you. By the time he gets neck and neck with you, you have already lost. And I will tell you why you have already lost. You lost because you are not used. You weren't used to kicking it up into high gear when your lead was threatened, because you didn't think you had any threats to you. Or your ratchet ass civilization that you created because you're undisciplined. You didn't think you had any competition. You mean to tell me that what's the boy from Galilee, the Amalgamated Moor from Galilee? He's one of them ice boys, but he's an Amalgamated Moor. Then, he's a rapper. Marshall, that's his name. Marshall, out of Galilee. He's a rapper. Who started rap? You did. Marshall came right on up high on the outside, and he became #1. The same thing is occurring to you culturally. The same thing is occurring to you culturally, and you are still not paying attention. You are so secure in your stupidity and ignorance that you think that you are so dumb, stupid, and ignorant that nobody wants to be you. Didn't Marshall show you better? Didn't all of the other amalgamated Moorish groups who took what you created and made a living off of it? Because you weren't paying attention. You thought it was just yours. And that's because your arrogance knows no bounds. Knows no bounds. But in essence, what I am saying to you is, do your research on the Little Shell Amalgamated Moorish tribe. Do your research on them. Read about them. Read the article. Check them out. Check them out. And you will see that what I speak to you is the truth. I am obligated to do that. I can't tell you anything other than that, because I don't know anything other than that. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you want a print of The Greatest Crime Never Investigated, proceeds will go to the building fund of the Temple of Alhambra. And I hope this did you all some good. And for God's sakes, take a 360-degree look around. Do 360 degrees, not 90 degrees. You get lost. Looking straight ahead, you will get lost because you're only looking 90 degrees. And there is 360 degrees of everything around you. All you have to do is pay attention. All you have to do is pay attention. And so, brothers and sisters, nephews and nieces, I bid you peace.